Hi, welcome back to another episode of Tape Time with Tom. My name is Chris, and I have another reoccurring guest, Steve.
Hi.
And today we are watching Legend. I have my copy and his copy.
We both did it.
And this is a movie that I've never seen. Steve has.
I have.
And this is going to be a first-time watch for me. All I know is the fact that it's Ridley Scott, young Tom Cruise, and Tim Curry's in there. That's it. That's all I know.
Yeah.
And there's
I'm really excited that it's going to be a first time for you.
It's going to be a heck of a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And without further ado, let's go and get started. Alrighty, so this is, I keep wanting to call it Legion. It's Legend.
That's a different movie.
When was the first time you ever seen Legend?
So I actually only saw it like a few years ago for the first time. So as you know, and a lot of my friends know, my favorite movie of all time is Blade Runner.
Hell yeah.
It's like the movie that got me into movies. So my whole life I've been like trying to watch as many Ridley Scotts as possible, and it took me a very long time to find this one.
Oh, here, let's do a quick, since this is not narrated. So, once long ago, before there was such a thing as time, the world was shrouded in darkness. Then came the splendor of light, bringing life and love into the universe, and the Lord of Darkness retreated deep into the shadows of the earth, plotting his return to power by banishing light forever. This is interesting. But precious light is protected, harbored in the souls of unicorns, the most mystical of all creatures. Unicorns are safe from the Lord of Darkness. They can only be found by the purest of mortals. Such a mortal is Jack, who lives in solitude with the animals of the forest. A beautiful girl named Lily loves Jack with all her heart. In their innocence, they believe only goodness exists in the world. How pure. Together they will learn that there can be no good without evil, no love without hate, no heaven without hell, no light without darkness. It's a mouthful.
Yeah,
the harmony of the universe depends on eternal balance. Out of the struggle to maintain this balance comes the birth of Legend.
That was beautiful, man. You did it.
So yeah, I needed this information because I don't know the context. I think it's interesting how having a movie just kind of do a quick prologue.
Well, and I was thinking, I feel like a lot of Ridley Scott's movies have an opening crawl. It's like something that he enjoys doing.
Did he have one in an Alien?
I was trying to remember. I feel like there is like a brief, or at least like a...
This is the Nostromo
or
something
in the
like
future
that.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because
right?
there's like the computer text, so like when the ship wakes up.
That
and
sounds
all that.
about right.
Yeah.
And then there's definitely one in
Blade Runner.
Yeah.
But so yeah, saw this for the first time just a few years ago. Actually, we got to give a big shout out. This episode probably wouldn't happen if it wasn't for our mutual friend and my lovely sister-in-law, Stephanie.
Hell yeah.
Stephanie is the OG fan of this movie. She's the person who kind of introduced me to it, and so
and she got me a copy and got you a copy.
She got me a copy. So basically, a little background of how we got these is Stephanie was on Etsy. Someone was selling this VHS. She turned to me and she was like, "Oh my God, they have this VHS of Legend. Do you think Chris would want this?" And I was like, "Absolutely, but order me one too." So she got both of them. So Thank you, Stephanie, for making this happen.
Thank you.
Cheers. So yeah, so that's also the funny thing. I'm glad that we got this VHS because this is the theatrical cut, and not the director's cut.
So, yeah, Ridley Scott likes to do director's cuts of a lot of his stuff, apparently.
Yeah, sort of invented the director's cut in a weird way.
Is the director's cut better or worse than the theatrical?
So
is that up to?
It's what a lot of people debate. Do you want my opinion or do you want?
I would love your opinion. Yeah.
Okay, so generally I like director's cut, and especially with Blade Runner.
Yeah.
The director's cut is like my version that I'm obsessed with. I actually think I like the director's cut more than the final cut of Blade Runner.
Okay.
But
so this is Tim Curry.
It's Tim Curry, yeah.
It's crazy how his fingernails are glow sticks.
Yeah.
Tim Curry is one of those actors that just manages to completely
immerse himself
into it's hard for me to distinguish the fact that he is in Rocky Horror as well as so many other things.
Yeah.
It's just two different people did these two things.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know this also.
And is your heart black and full of hate? Black as midnight, black as pitch, blacker than the foulest witch.
Spooky.
Yeah. The makeup effects in this movie are unreal. They're incredible.
It's got some crazy, like, a whole lot of practical effects you wouldn't get nowadays.
Yeah. So they're done by Rob Bottin, the guy who did all the Thing, the creatures in the Thing and all that. And so.
Well, that's why.
Yeah. They're wild.
What do they look like, Lord?
Let this serve to remind you. The creature is crowned with a single spiral, reaching like an antenna straight to heaven.
I get the point, Lord.
Get it.
So he doesn't know what a unicorn is, but he knows what an antenna is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they got to hunt this thing down.
Gotcha. So this is, what's her face?
Mia Sara.
Mia Sara from the hit movie Ferris Bueller. Is that right?
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. It is her. That is her. I totally.
The only other movie I've ever seen her in.
Yeah. Man, all this forest stuff with like all the like petals flying everywhere is just like gorgeous.
It's so magical, like surreally magical.
Well, people forget like Ridley Scott came from advertising. He directed 500 commercials before he directed features, and so he has this like eye for being able to just kind of like sell an idea very quickly.
So you were telling me the preference, the debate between theatrical and the director's cut for.
So for Legend specifically, so the big difference is the scores, first of all, for the big part, because the theatrical cut, which we're watching, has a score by Tangerine Dream.
Okay.
Legendary,
The
band.
movie Sorcerer.
Oh, yeah. Incredible score.
Yeah.
The director's cut has like a legit movie orchestra style score. I think it's like Jerry Goldsmith or something like that.
Yeah.
And then also the movie makes, or the director's cut makes more sense because there's more expansion of like the plot and the world and all this stuff.
Okay.
So when Stephanie, our friend, lent me the Blu-ray, she was like, the theatrical cut is better. Me being, I'm a nerd and a snob, I was like, okay. I'll be the judge of that. And so I went and I watched both the theatrical and the director's cut. When I returned the Blu-ray to Stephanie, I was like, the theatrical is better.
You're right.
The theatrical is absolutely the better score. So, admittedly, the director's cut does make more sense.
Yeah.
But this is a fantasy movie.
And you kind of bend the rules just a little bit.
I don't really care about it making a whole lot of sense. Yeah. And the loss of the Tangerine Dream score isn't worth.
It's like detrimental.
The addition of all the other stuff. So personally, I think the theatrical is better. Awesome. I agree with Stephanie, but a lot of people think the actors are.
So for context, for the audience here, Ridley Scott, as you said, done like a whole bunch of commercials.
Yeah.
Then what was his first movie? Was his first movie Alien?
No, so his first, it was a movie called The Duelist.
That's right, okay.
It was like a low, not super low budget,
but more... Keitel, is that
yeah,
right? Okay.
Yeah. It was like an independent kind of period drama, which is very good. And then his big break after that was Alien.
With Alien, so it's Alien, then Blade Runner.
Right.
And then right after that, Legend. But yeah. And it's just crazy to see Ridley Scott switch from sci-fi to fantasy. And logically, that's not as different, but movie-making wise, it's completely drastic.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, I think this movie apparently didn't do so well, or, it's not that it didn't do well. It was kind of, he did Alien and Blade Runner back-to-back, which is like a pretty amazing achievement.
That's crazy.
And then this was like kind of, it's just like what I love about this movie is how these early films that he made, he had like such a amazing sense of confidence with like the worlds he would build. I mean, you just look at this and you're just like, everything is so like rich in how it looks, and I think more people need to see this movie and like really appreciate it.
Jack, you scared the life out of me.
What a lot of people also talk about is apparently, it's never really been confirmed, but a lot of people find parallels that this movie inspired the video game Legend of Zelda, which if you look at the costumes alone, you can see it. With the way Tom Cruise is dressed and the way she's dressed, it's
and then
Link and Zelda right here.
Yeah, more as like a pseudo like Gandalf. Or a Ganondorf.
Yeah.
Another fantasy movie, slip of the tongue. But yeah, no, Tom Cruise looks so young in this movie.
Yeah, he does. He really does.
But this is after, from what I recollect to be, this is still post Risky Business.
Weird.
Which is weird.
That just blows my mind. Because it's like, I feel like, also you said that this is the movie he did right before Top Gun.
Right before Top Gun. At least, like, release date, it's right before Top Gun.
You see, that's wild to me, because in this, I feel like, I would guess he's like 30 in Top Gun, but in this, he looks like he's like 15. He is like so young.
No, exactly right. He looks like he's 15.
Tell me our future.
Not today.
God, I can't,
Not today.
his teeth crack me up because it looked like he just hasn't like fully grown yet.
No. It's so weird.
Something really special that I've been promising to show.
So then this would have had to have been like after The Outsiders, right?
Yes, look. Legend. Top Gun.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, it's a couple years out. So it's for Tom Cruise, was it Endless Love, Taps, Losing It, The Outsiders with Francis Ford Coppola, Risky Business, All the Right Moves, then Legend.
Wow.
And then he switches from one Scott to another for Top Gun.
Oh, that's funny.
Which-
That's really funny.
He probably met
Yeah.
Tony during the making of this movie at some point.
Or Ridley was like,
Or-
you got to use this kid.
This kid's great. And then Scorsese got him for The Color of Money right after this, which is crazy. But no, like this is the kind of movie that I feel like if you're watching this as a kid,
Oh, yeah.
you have a good amount of kinder drama for Tim Curry, but like, look at all this magic.
Yeah. Oh, and it's about to get like amazing.
This audio cue
Yeah.
sounds like it's something from Alien
Yeah.
or The Shining, almost.
Yeah.
Freaking magical. Look at this.
I also love that he made 2 movies in a row with unicorns.
That's right.
Because there's the unicorn scene in Blade Runner. and it's almost that exact same shot of it just like kind of slowly moving through the forest.
Wait, was that unicorn footage just like B-roll from this movie?
It might, I don't know.
That's
But-
would be hilarious if it was.
Yeah,
Oh man.
No.
No.
You mustn't.
So Jack is just a woodland boy
yeah.
who's in love with his princess.
Right.
What's her name? Does he just
She does have a name. I can't remember what it is.
find out? We'll put it up there.
Lily, no.
Lily, there you
Okay,
go.
so Lily and Jack.
Yeah. And so basically, Jack is trying to impress Lily and be like, hey, I'm going to like show you this unicorn.
Dude, I got some unicorns.
Exactly. The thing is that to the rules of the forest, it is forbidden to touch a unicorn. But Lily is very curious.
She's the fair maiden.
Right. And then at the same time, we got this guy who was sent by Tim Curry.
These gross fellows.
This shot be just as sweet as pie.
What have I done?
What have I done? What other unicorn movies do you know? Besides Blade Runner. If you count that a unicorn movie. Which I don't.
Sure, why not? Gone in 60 Seconds.
Eleanor's Memphis' unicorn.
What's a unicorn?
Fable creature.
You know, because they're trying to get that one car that he calls the unicorn.
I have not seen that
No,
movie.
cut that. No, yeah, you know, Last Unicorn?
Last Unicorn is great. Have you actually seen the Last
No,
Unicorn?
I've never seen it.
That is a movie that I will be doing a rewatch on this channel with Kate whenever we get a chance to find the VHS tape.
Oh, sweet.
Because that is one of her favorite movies and one of her favorite books, and I read the book and it's great. The movie's
Awesome.
great. The only other one I could think of is like the first Harry Potter movie with the unicorn blood and stuff, which is
right,
always
yeah.
weird because it looks like mercury.
Yeah. I mean, there's got to be more unicorn movies, you know?
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
it's a good dive.
What form?
A+. Good dive. No splash. So he's trying to get the ring.
Right.
This crazy editing.
Yeah, it is insane.
think these goblins in like a grove. Oh, wait. Oh,
Like stuck under.
oh, that's scary.
Boom.
That's insane.
Yeah, man. Rough.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, you can definitely see kinder trauma.
Oh, yeah. Sure. So the death of the unicorn caused
It's wintertime now.
a blizzard
Yeah.
for the forest.
Yeah. So, you know, and maybe I'm just like kind of, you know, maybe, you know, people see what they want to see. But, you know, when I watch this movie, especially some of these scenes, I can't help but wonder if this was an influence on Mandy.
I can see that.
It's very, you know, especially with like some of the henchmen and like
the biker gang that's
Yeah.
summoned by the horn of Arrakis or something.
right. Yeah. And like, you know, these flashing lights and all that. Like,
I mean, if we get like this guy getting stabbed in the eye or wherever he is by a coked up Nick Cage, then that's great.
Yeah.
But we're not going to get this in this movie.
yeah, no, unfortunately.
Sweet. I could eat her brains like jam.
Jeez Louise. So we got a pig guy, we got the goblin, and a guy in a helmet.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dark Lord.
you know, as you do.
As you do. And there's naturally some infighting.
So like basically from stealing that horn, like the whole balance of the world is like
Yeah.
out of whack now.
Okay. So is Jack the hero of this movie, or is it Lily?
It's I mean, I guess it's Jack.
Jack,
It's
okay.
but Lily is definitely the much more interesting character. You'll see. She has
Okay.
like she has the cooler arc.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I have like was Ridley Scott based on or inspired by anything for this, or do you know if this was just like an original script from
Yeah.
whomever?
I don't know exactly what the production was.
Written by William Schwartzberg,
All right.
something like that. Yeah, I was wondering if this was like based on a book or something.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it was, you know, I think it was just, you know, this was the era when we were getting movies like Neverending Story
Okay.
and, you know, Excalibur, like
Yeah.
a lot of those 80s fantasy movies. So I feel like.
Which I haven't seen almost any of those.
Really? Oh,
No.
man, we should do a whole.
What is this?
Yeah, I always forget. This actor is from somewhere.
Do not know the gum.
So these are friendlies?
Yeah, so this guy's name is Gump.
Honeythorn Gump at your service.
How did you know my name?
And if we're talking about like inspirations for Zelda, I feel like
Yeah.
this light thing is definitely
Like Navi.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was even this elf looks like he's 10. He's
Yeah.
I presumably like old. Right?
Yes, yeah. So he was a German child actor. If you've ever seen the movie The Tin Drum, that's the kid.
He's the kid in the tin drum.
Yeah.
I've only heard weird things about the tin drum.
Yeah,
But good to know.
but yeah. Well, and then what's also crazy is a different actor is his voice, and so it's like
Okay.
dubbed, but
Okay.
I forget who the voice is. Oh, heartbreaking.
I would love to show this to Kate, but I don't think she'll enjoy anything with the unicorn.
Yeah, man, rough.
This movie still just boggles my mind.
Oh
The
yeah,
fact that it's Ridley Scott
yeah,
making
yeah.
a fantasy movie. It's just insane to me. I mean, if I had it my way, every director should make a fantasy movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just to I don't know, stretch their legs a little bit, just to see what they could do. Because what's the adage that Tarantino has said is, you're a Western director if you've made 3 Westerns.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't think we have any fantasy directors in the
Yeah,
past
I don't know.
30 years.
Yeah. I
In
mean,
within that rule set at least. So,
Yeah. well, and then also, I'm just like, I'm such a, like, I'm excited for you to watch some more like 80s fantasy
Yeah.
because I feel like this was a very short-lived genre that, because it's like, unfortunately, like, you know, I feel like the 80s was like a kind of a golden era for like fantasy movies, but then digital happened. You know, I mean, obviously fantasy movies still exist and are still being made,
Yeah.
but like, the kind of form of doing
Having this kind of set
Right.
with the backdrop lighting.
and everything
the snow-
practical.
The
and-
fake snow falling, the horses.
Right, right. And just the amount of work and design
Oh, yeah.
that goes, it's weird. It's like, in a weird way, Lord of the Rings was the pinnacle of the genre,
in
but
the
it was
capstone.
also the end
Yeah.
of it. And so,
Because that's for whatever reason, I've never been a huge fan of fantasy movies. Mm-hmm. Like I grew up watching The Lord of the Rings. I saw Return of the King in theaters and stuff.
yeah.
But it was never something that I would always go back to rewatching. And now that I've gotten older and I've gotten used to just doing a marathon of the Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah,
'Cause it's
same.
they're fantastic movies.
They're
No one needs to tell you
best,
this.
yeah.
But it's I just find it interesting how it was like the capstone was like Lord of the Rings and like nothing else besides Harry Potter since
yeah.
2000 basically.
Yeah.
But before this, I feel like there might have been a dry spell in the 90s, but then we had the 80s.
Yeah,
With all
which
these gems.
huge for that.
Yeah.
I hold the power! Shit! Please! It was only a joke!
There's mummies in this too?
Yeah.
No! No! Have you no sense of humor? Adios, amigos!
He just walked into a bottomless pit?
Yep.
That's amazing.
Who goes there, what?
This is 86.
Yeah.
Do you remember when the Ralph Bakshi Lord of the Rings came out? Was it in the 70s or 80s?
70s.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if this fellow was influenced by the design of
Oh,
his hobbits
yeah,
and stuff.
probably.
And then kind of like reversed back over to Peter Jackson afterwards.
Yeah.
Possible.
It's not safe to stay here. You'll have to hurry. Leave now. Go.
If you imps are looking for a fight, you come to the chapel oblige you. Try this exercise. You can't beat me out.
This guy's baller. Was his frying pan?
Coming, fellas. Check this out.
Check me out.
This guy's just a wizard. Oh!
To go to this dock. They done for me.
Oh my god. Brutal. My lord. Wow, they just headshot him. Jeez Louise. Alright.
Shot me through me brain pan. Oh.
He good.
One spot an arrow will do no harm. I did my best.
What?
He had a brain pan, a pan over his brain.
I feel like I need one of these now.
I know, right?
When evil anarchy ruled the land, the wicked came here to sacrifice.
I feel like this is all so close. Like they haven't crossed days to get to where they need to go.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
I walked an hour.
Yeah.
And then, oh, evil!
Well, yeah, and so that is in the director's cut. There's a lot more.
Oh, okay.
Fanfare.
I'm not trying to bash it or anything. I'm just
Yeah.
enjoying the fallacies, I suppose.
Yeah. All right, here we go. This scene is iconic.
Next time we do one of these episodes with you, I do want to do one where both of us haven't seen something, so it's
Yeah.
both a fresh watch and one that I'm showing to you.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Let's do it.
We'll figure that out.
Oh, that'd be
later.
awesome.
Yeah. Since the last one we saw was Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is
Hey.
fantastic.
So Vietnam. Let's talk about
It's a legend. The legend of Vietnam. All right, so we got Spooky Swamp.
All right, here we go.
This kind of reminds me of
Sorcerer.
music-wise, yes.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, what's the one with Peter Falk telling his kid the story?
Oh, Princess Bride.
Princess
Yeah.
Bride. What is that? Is it a mermaid?
Meg.
Meg. My God. I wish we had more movies like this.
Yeah, man.
Nowadays. With the willingness to just go full on prosthetic.
This is like horrifying.
It's so nasty.
Yeah, man. Raboutine.
Those giant hands. That hump.
So, here's the fun fact.
Okay, please, tell.
So that's Meg Mucklebones,
Okay.
played by Robert Picardo. He plays the holodeck doctor in Star Trek.
In Next Gen? No.
Or Voyager.
Voyager?
Yeah.
The guy who's bald, right?
Yeah, and he is also the main werewolf in The Howling. He is the guy who the on-screen transformation in The Howling.
Well, I haven't seen The Howling, but I've seen Voyager.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's Meg Mucklebones as Robert Picardo.
So it's Meg Mucklebones or Mucklebones?
Mucklebones. Meg Mucklebones.
Wow.
Yeah.
On screen for 2 minutes, scares the hell out of some kids, and then gets decapitated.
Yeah, she's like the scariest part of this movie. See, Mandy, you know?
Oh, man. I would love to have Panis Cosmatos talk about
I know, right?
this movie. I'm very excited to see what he does next. I don't think there's any word on what it is.
Yeah. I think we just got a title, right?
I don't know,
The
maybe.
Necrocosm
That sounds amazing.
is apparently what...
First in line. I don't know. I think it's distributed by A24, maybe. I think that's the
maybe.
only other thing I
Who
heard.
knows?
Maybe I don't know who could say.
A fairy's heart beats fierce and free.
Glitter.
That's how I want to leave every room.
Glitter. Please don't.
A fairy's heart is fair and free.
Glitter bomb.
But yeah, I think watching this VHS is like even a better case for the Tangerine Dream score. Because it's like, yeah, maybe it does date it, but I don't know. This is awesome.
It feels awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
Spooky. What is this thing?
So she is in the devil's lair.
Okay.
And this shadow figure has come to... She was looking at the jewelry, and then this shadow figure appeared.
Yeah. Love the music here.
Yeah.
It's very carnivalesque. Almost.
Yeah.
This would be a kick-ass Halloween costume right there.
Yeah, it would be.
Shadow person from
From Legend.
Say Legion. Legend.
From Legion,
Legion.
Starring Paul Bettany.
The hit movie.
And now they are one.
This is fascinating.
Yeah.
What? His hooves. So we saw him earlier on, but now this is the first time we've really seen him like red. And this is the kind of image that I recollect.
Yeah.
Oh, the other Tim Curry movie is Pennywise.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like having him go from Rocky Horror to being to it to now this boggles my brain how he's able to do this.
Yeah, that is wild.
It's insane. Jeez Louise. This is rated PG?
Yeah.
This is what? This is 86, so this is still after
Is it?
Temple of Doom.
We are all animals, my lady.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Apparently the headpiece was like super heavy, and he could like barely
I believe it.
move. And apparently he like had like a panic attack at one point because he was like claustrophobic in the makeup. That he apparently Tim Curry at one point tried to rip off the makeup improperly while it was like glued to him, and he like ripped off part of his skin while trying to do it. But you just figure if you're like spending hours at a time and all that, like it can't be comfortable.
Oh my god. So we need a bunch of giant plates.
Yeah.
Very curious to see where this plan is going.
Oh, you don't even know.
I'm imagining it's kind of like The Mummy. Am I in the right track?
Maybe.
Okay. So sensual. Oh, this is,
I know, right?
Conversation.
did you ever watch This Is the End?
Oh yeah, yeah,
The weird,
yeah.
like all the Hollywood folks are raunchy and it's hilarious. Everyone's playing themselves, but hyperbolized. And then, spoiler alert for This Is the End, if you haven't seen it, there's a devil and you see his giant schlong.
Yeah.
This is what I am imagining.
That is kind of...
This is the movie that they used as a template.
Probably.
I have to imagine. And now I can't think about it otherwise.
Yeah.
I will stay here with you as you wish. But on one condition.
Anything.
I want to kill the unicorn.
That's hot.
Yeah, he's really enjoying that.
He likes that a lot.
This is PG.
We can't see anything below his nipples. I feel like this is the same set as Temple of Doom.
Oh, right? Yeah, maybe. When was Temple of Doom made?
It was 2 years before this.
Okay.
So it's entirely possible that
It could be.
it was just touched up a bit to make it look a little more fantasy.
She means to do it, Jack. She's one of them. I am sister to the fates. Kill her. Forget her. Think about the unicorn. Do it!
Lily.
I'll do it.
No. No. I trust you, Lily. I'll always trust you.
Hell yeah.
True love.
And that's where Tom Cruise learned the run.
He learned it from Tim Curry.
I love these sets.
That's what I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah.
these just look amazing.
I kind of love that, you can sort of tell that it's on a stage, but it just the style is so
I think it's
rich
intentional.
Yeah.
Like,
I love it.
It kind of, like, if you take away all the color and everything, it kind of looks like it's a universal horror.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
set,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Absolutely.
Like, it's not trying to hide the fact that it's on a set.
Yeah.
It's the backdrop and everything.
Yeah.
The matted painting and stuff. Oh, that's cool. That's not scary at all.
Right.
Damn it. Man, that was wicked. Tony Scott just stole that sunrise for Top Gun.
Yeah. Yeah. For real.
Shit's flying through it.
Yeah. If only.
Yeah, if it was only that easy to resuscitate a unicorn, just reattach the horn.
That's how you do it. Unicorn's like, did you stab a demon with my horn?
Uncool, but also totally rad. Teaching us to love for goodness sake.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Is that the title of the song?
Yeah.
Teaching us to love for goodness sake.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
That's amazing. Need to add that to my Spotify. Well, that was amazing. I had a great time.
That's legend. Yeah. No, it's great. It's so good. Kind of the forgotten masterpiece. of
No.
Ridley Scott.
Wow. All right. This movie boggles my mind.
Yeah.
I had a great time. It's hard to describe how I feel besides the fact that this was amazing. I had a great time. Did you have a good time?
Oh yeah, no, it's fun to especially because I'm, a lot of his other, Alien and Blade Runner I've watched my whole life, or whatever. So it's kind of cool that there's this whole other movie that I only saw for the first time a few years ago that now I can go back to and watch again. So
good on you, Ridley Scott, for bringing us legend.
absolutely.
I had a great time.
Me too.
I don't know what else to say. Well, thank you for joining us for Take Time with Tom. This was legend. You will feel free to join us for another time. We'll have plenty of more movies to watch with Steve.
Yeah, can't wait.
And with all that being said, always rewind, but more importantly, be kind.
Be kind.
All right. See you guys later.
See ya.